Alright, let's do a page-by-page breakdown of Chapter 1154, and of course, if you're not caught up, then scroll on. We've got more Yamato Golden Harvest Surrogate Pilgrimage, Volume 38. Y'all think this is Ryuma's grave right here? I feel like it's gotta be. But the chapter starts off showing us some of the Big Mom flashback, which I've been waiting to see more Big Mom content in our current run of Elbaf, since she obviously was incredibly impactful there. And she was our first real window into what Elbaf even looked like. But apparently, after she left, Calamity struck, which happened to be the same time that little demon baby Loki was born. More tragedy for our boy Loki. Him hitting the jump scare on his mom actually was kind of funny. Maybe I'm wrong for that. I genuinely feel so bad for Loki, but this particular moment just feels like a Chucky movie. And then with the, it's looking at me. I don't know. But truly, this is devastating. Poor Loki just wants to be with his mom, and she wants nothing to do with it. The population of giants start turning on each other because the famine is getting so bad. And unfortunately, they're all blaming this on Loki. They try to offer up Hadradin as a sacrifice to Loki because he's his brother, which also is like crazy. What are we talking about? And then they jump to attack Ida. But our boy King Harold pulls up in the nick of time. But not only that, he's pulling up with aid from the rest of the world. He's got ships full of food. Harold's journeys have been successful because now Elbaf has support from other colonies. And then Harold gets to go meet his son Loki for the first time. Oh yeah, and Estrid died, who fucking cares? Good riddance. Something I found really interesting in this panel right here is it says just a few months old, Loki abandoned any hope for love. It kind of points out how socially aware Loki may have been at this super young age. Put a pin in that for later. But overall, outside of just not physically being there, I think King Harold would actually be a fantastic father. King Harold sets up all the branch routes, and we found out that Ida opened up a bar in the underworld, which looks a lot like the bar that Shanks was at, doesn't it? Then we get into some really good lore here. Harold was at the Reverie when an incident happened and somebody was murdered. And we also found out about the Galila Band, a group of giants and ancient giants who were shipwrights. All of this lore is extra interesting because Ya-Rule is like 400 years old. So he very well could have lived during the time of these giants, or at least been a lot closer to the stories being told about them. We get this amazing panel of Loki growing up, and I love it to death. And honestly, side note, he looks like Dofi here, he looks like Sabo here, and he looks like Sephiroth or something there. But the little smirk on his face when we find out that this guy got wrecked, I love it. Loki totally did that. But unfortunately, Loki is trying to fill that void in his heart, and he's doing it with violence. He's become an outright tyrant in his youth. Hadradin and Loki clash, and honestly, Hadradin has a good point here, but he needs to listen to his own advice. He basically tells Loki the same thing Ida told King Harold. But unfortunately, he's just as guilty of this. And unfortunately, after all of this, Loki tries to end it all just like Kaido did. And it doesn't work. And this leads us to the big reveal of the chapter. Rox D. Xebec, the father of Blackbeard. And of course, all the crazy theories that started circulating around this. And now, of course, everybody is talking about what his fruit might have been and maybe him also being the father of Buggy. A lot of people want to say he has the Opie Opie no Mi, but I kind of like the idea of the Chop Chop fruit. Hence the mountain up in the corner. But that's all for another video. Let me know what you thought about this chapter in the comments.